Oh, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
One, two, three, go.
I am Trey,
And I am Khalid.
and this is Incognito Room episode. Oh wait, we're not doing episodes. Redo. Okay. Three, two,
sorry.
one. I am Trey. Fuck. I am Trey,
And I am Khalid.
and this is the Incognito Room, tricks and treats. Today we're going to be talking about basically how we got into Halloween, if we even did. I know I did, but
I didn't really.
Yeah.
We could say it about holidays around the end of October.
Yeah.
I think would be a little better.
the spoopy season. And a little bit, we're going to
Spooktober.
also talk about a little bit of Day of the Dead, because I have no idea what that's about. But
And I get angry when people compare it to Halloween.
Yeah.
So,
So,
you know,
one,
that's a
you
thing.
said that you never got into Halloween, right?
no. My parents mostly
Mm.
religious reasons, but I never really knew.
Mm.
I just at one point I got old enough that I was like, whatever, it's just candy.
Okay. Well, like you said, religious reasons. So are they Catholic or
They
non-denominational?
were Catholic. They
Okay.
aren't anymore. I don't know, man. I don't keep up with that shit. I really don't. Like, I let my mom do whatever.
Well, like I mean, like what about it made them say like no to Halloween?
I don't know.
Mm.
I think because like it's weird because my mom says she's a Jehovah's Witness, and I might cut this part out, but I'm telling you because she's not a very good Jehovah's Witness.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But like, I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
The fact that you're still like hanging out with her says she's not a very good
Yeah.
Jehovah's Witness.
No, she's not a good Jehovah's Witness.
Yeah.
She just, I think to her, it's like the comfort part of the religious
Yeah,
part,
yeah.
but she's not into the hardcore. You're so and so gay. I'm not gonna talk like. She
Yeah, yeah.
doesn't care. She just likes which I can understand. My
The
mom lived
community of it.
Yeah, my mom lived a hard life.
Yeah.
I can understand her wanting to have something there to fall back on. You know, it's yeah.
So what about like
You can't ask me why Jehovah's Witnesses don't do Halloween because I have no fucking.
you have no
clue.
idea?
I just have no idea.
Okay. So I mean, what did you have anything that you did do that was similar to Halloween, or was it just something that was just kind of like, oh, that's
Well, like,
another thing?
We
I'm
stopped
about.
doing it when I was a kid. Like I remember like going trick or treating once, maybe twice,
Yeah.
and then we didn't do it, and then I just didn't care about it, honestly.
Gotcha.
I
was kind of the same, though.
Here's another thing though. Before, because like, obviously holidays aren't like that big a thing for witnesses or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So, and yeah, we didn't do them for those reasons. But I eventually started not doing them for my own reasons, which was the hypocrisy behind a lot of holidays. I just don't. I don't like hypocrisy, and I don't like how people are like, oh, it's Valentine's Day or Christmas. I'm gonna be really nice to this person. Is
Yeah.
okay? Why can't you just be nice the rest of the year?
You're just saying it feels like superficial.
Yeah,
like
it feels very superficial
Yeah.
nowadays. 'Cause
I would say a big culprit, like the biggest one, would be Valentine's Day in that regard.
Valentine's Day pisses
Yeah.
me off because of the corporateness behind it.
Yeah.
But nowadays, because of my daughter and my friends, I like things like Christmas because they're not about the stuff anymore.
Mm.
I've found a group of people that it's more about the time together.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm okay with that now.
Okay.
So I'm not as angry. I hate it.
Like for me,
Wait,
like
yeah. So because again, that literally goes as far from my Halloween experience. So,
wow.
how was it? I'd like to know what other people did for Halloween back in the day.
As like a little kid, I didn't celebrate Halloween actually.
No? Okay.
Because I lived with my mom
Mm-hmm.
until I was like 9 or 10, I think, and then I moved with my dad. But when I was with my mom, we didn't celebrate Halloween. And it was because my grandma was she was super religious.
Okay. Similar reasons.
Similar reasons. And I guess she just didn't. I never knew why, but I'm gonna guess it was maybe you guys they're celebrating the devil or something.
Demons and
stuff. That something the occult. What's the word I'm looking for? Like glorifying the occult, essentially.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I didn't celebrate it until I was around 9 or 10, and I remember my first year I went as Spider-Man, which started my love for Spider-Man. I think that really was actually why I'm a huge fucking Spider-Man fan now, because I got to do my first Halloween as him. But it was fun. I enjoyed it. When I did it, I remember when my grandma asked me "Hey, do you want to go trick or treating?" I was like, "No, I can't. I'm not allowed." And she was like, "You're going fucking trick or treating. You're gonna do it."
Yeah.
So I was like, "Oh, okay." And then we went and got my costume and stuff. And when we went, it was a fucking blast to me. It was just you go to people's house and they give you candy. That's fun. But I couldn't find the connection between the occult thing and Halloween and just the fun.
Mm-hmm.
And I still don't. I don't know who's on I don't know what people on Halloween are going out sacrificing virgins and stuff. I don't know where this weird this is evil came from.
I can I'll jump in here because I got curious the other day and I looked it up.
Well, okay. So before you do that, actually, but I'm saying more along the lines of kids just getting candy. How do you make something like that bad or evil? I don't get the connection.
I have info on that too.
And the whole trunk or treat things. Do you know what trunk or treat is?
Yes. That's kind of what they do nowadays.
Yeah, but churches do that. I'm kind of well, you're still dressing up and getting candy just like the rest of us. What do you think we're doing? We're not murdering people door to door.
People are it's like that fear that people are out in costumes and looking for trouble.
Debauchery,
yeah. Because I feel like some cities probably do have something like that.
I'm sure everywhere does.
But a backstory on Halloween. So it's based off of the whole fear of it. I think it started as whatever the hell some Wayne you know what I mean, right? That pagan holiday.
Yeah.
Where multiple planes of reality and spiritual and our planes start merging together on this.
Sounds like a D&D campaign I want to play.
Yeah, where do you think it comes from? Real life belief. Anyway, that's a whole different story. Never mind. And that was actually, if I remember correctly, it was actually more in the spring. And then,
okay. I didn't know that.
To try to get pagans to convert to Catholicism, the church took over Samhain, and they made it a holiday celebrating the souls of your Christian loved ones. And then to try to make it more religious, they moved it to the 31st because after the 31st is All Saints Day.
Mm.
And then, what is it? All Saints, I think. Before it was All Saints Day, it was called Hallowed something Day. So then it was Hallows Eve.
Yeah.
And then eventually turned into Halloween.
God, that's a lot of transitions.
Yes. And that it was all because of the Catholic Church. So it's not as pagan as people like to think it is.
Okay.
And then the whole...
Isn't Christmas more pagan than actual...
Yeah, technically. Because somebody... I remember reading somewhere that Israel is actually pretty cold in winter. At least nights are. Yeah. So no smart farmer would be out feeding his sheep and shit at that time of night. Sorry. And the whole trick or treating thing started as begging from poor people and poor kids. There was something originally. It was something involved. They go and they get this cake and they pray for the dead, and for each cake they have a prayer for someone, right? Eventually it turned into poor people just begging.
Brew. No. Okay.
Poor people just begging. And then there was, I think it started with Guy Fawkes, if I remember correctly. Anyway, it evolved into give us food or we'll fuck with you, you know?
Oh, so
trick or treat. And then it kind of evolved into, because there was apparently a problem.
I like to give us food or we'll fuck with you.
Like in the early days of
verbose
of the U.S., there was a big problem with that. Like kids or young people would just go out and start shit.
Yeah,
on Halloween, and that was the push from companies to try to make it more wholesome. Was the candy and stuff. So back to my hatred of corporate holidays. But I don't remember the company, but there was a company specifically that started like doing costumes and candy for Halloween.
So
that started that trend.
Is that the origins of the
modern day Halloween?
The origins of modern day Halloween is your problem?
No,
with Halloween. Okay, I was like,
I was just kidding about that. I don't really care.
Halloween's one of my favorite holidays.
Mm-hmm.
Just because of all the I think it's not even just Halloween itself. I think it's just a season coupled with
the season, the aesthetic.
Yeah.
Because the rest of the year is full of like, let's get together and have a good time, and then Halloween's like, yeah, spooky.
Yeah, it's kind of like do what you want. Like,
do whatever. So
it feels like Halloween doesn't have an etiquette to it. I feel like Christmas, it's like, all right, got to go see the family, whether you like them or not. You got to go see them.
I wouldn't know about that. I'm sorry.
Like Thanksgiving has that. It's the same feel as Christmas, essentially, just no presents.
Really?
I mean, at least in my family, I love both holidays just because I get to see my family and stuff. But like, I don't feel entirely different. We do the same thing we do on Thanksgiving as we would Christmas. The only difference is
presents,
yeah. Which it doesn't really mean much to me. I which is why I like Thanksgiving actually more than Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
I feel Thanksgiving feels more authentic. Does that make sense?
I would agree with you. It makes sense, but
I think what it stands for is better. Yes. Like, be thankful for the things you have. But Christmas is what are we doing?
The whole Black Friday kind of makes that.
That
argument.
Yeah,
trash. I'm sorry, but no.
Yeah.
The original.
I don't consider Black Friday a part of Thanksgiving though. Like,
no, but
I feel like that's
it's
just
not even on Friday anymore.
No, it's on fucking like Thursday at 3 p.m. We haven't even eaten yet, and they're like sales.
Are you guys gonna come to Thanksgiving dinner? Nah, I gotta go line up for that TV.
God, I hate it. I've done Black Friday once.
I do it every now and then because I don't do Thanksgiving. So
you don't?
No,
I've done it twice. Well, you did a Friendsgiving with me.
Yeah, I did.
How'd you like that?
There's
only one right answer.
I'm pretty sure I got drunk that day.
You did.
So there's that. Yeah, I was gonna bring that up. Like, I don't do Thanksgiving because it's not a thing in Mexico.
Okay.
So my family doesn't do it.
Yeah.
And I used to do it with Ellie's mom, but we're not together.
Yeah.
So instead, I just let Ellie do her thing with her mom. I'll beep that. My daughter.
Oh. Yeah. Okay, gotcha.
No, it's not like I've never set my last name on here, so it's not like they're gonna find me. But anyway, let her.
No, okay.
I let her do her thing with her family from that side. I used to just not do anything or work if my work had people that needed. But recently, I feel like things like Friendsgiving and like I do Christmas with my daughter.
Okay.
Because it's important to her and it's fun.
Does she do Halloween or no?
Yeah,
she does. Okay.
I will do Halloween with her. So I do Christmas with her. Kind of complicated, but we have fun. We do stuff.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like I've met people in my life. Like, if you guys were like, "Hey, we're doing a get together," like I'd be like, "Yeah, right, I'll go." And before, it's just like, "Yeah, I don't care." Do you know what I mean? It's
more about the people than anything.
Yeah, like to me, it's become more about the people.
Yeah,
and the people, the things we do together. I was gonna say, I guess with Halloween, there was a point in time before my daughter was born that my goal was to live in one of those neighborhoods where people still trick or treat and have candy for the kids of the neighborhood and let my daughter go out and play and my life fell apart.
Oh my god. Well,
it sounds bad, but that was pretty much what happened. But it was
things just took a different turn.
Yes, but I did have hopes for it, is what I'm trying to say. Because I feel like I've come off as like, I hate it. And I really don't. It makes my kid happy. It makes kids happy. I'm on board.
Yeah, like I feel like when people look for I feel like people look for the wrong in things too much. Like something is innocent. That's my biggest problem with when it comes to like, I don't know, when it comes to churches. My whole thing is intent. Yeah, like if the intent behind it is good, then I'm willing to look past a lot of things. So like Halloween, people think it's like glorifying the occult. I don't think there's a kid out there who's just like, yay, Satan, gimme can't. Like, no one's doing that. People are doing that, but
they're usually adults.
Usually, yeah.
Or teenagers.
Yeah. I don't think the masses are doing that. I think it's just really just, all right, it's time of year where we have to buy some candy for some kids and just send them on their way. That's all it is. But I feel like people do this thing where they just latch on to, this is what it used to mean. Blah 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 blah. But I feel like people cherry pick as well, because there's a lot of other holidays. Looking at you, Christmas, that have some pretty, like, well, it depends on how you look at it, but pretty sinister stuff behind it as well. Yeah, like,
I mean, you forget we live in the South. Cherry picking is a Southern tradition, I'd say,
both physical and figurative.
Yeah, there you go. I've never seen cherry trees. I don't think I've ever seen a cherry tree at all.
I don't think I've seen a fruit tree. No, really? I've seen that. No, I don't think. No, I've seen a pear tree. I've seen a pear tree.
When we lived in Mexico in our neighborhood, one of our neighbors had a fig tree.
A fig tree? I had a fig for the first time
like
on my birthday.
Fig? Was it good? Did you like it? I fucking love fresh fig, dude. I hate dried fig, but fresh is good.
It was very mild. I thought it would have like a very strong taste, but it was super. It almost tasted like nothing. It was more of a texture thing. Okay. It was very light sweetness.
Really ripe figs have a pretty, I don't want to say like strong flavor, but you can definitely be like, oh, this is fig.
The one I had was super soft. Are they like normally soft?
Yeah.
Okay. I never had one. So.
But like a third of this family's, this neighbor's tree was outside of his gate. So us as kids,
you were just fucking robbing this dude.
We would be taking his fucking figs. It was delicious.
The guy's like, man, my tree is really not having it this year. I've been watering it, but
you see some fucking kid come up and like with a stick, and it's motherfucker, come back here, you little shit. We did get in trouble for it once, but we kept doing it. So. Who cares? I think he gave up eventually. If I remember correctly. He was like, whatever.
There's only so many figs I can eat.
I think he just got, like, it was just, it bugged him that we were over there fucking around in his tree.
Yeah.
You know, so.
I would too. If I grew a tree and I'm like, man, I got a great apple tree, and I saw like over the fence just tiny ass grubby hands, like grabbing my damn apples, I'd be like, what the fuck, guys? Stop. What am I?
Just apple stealing whore.
You can't call kids whore. You apple stealing bitches. You just made this neighbor sound way like awful.
Well, I really like the memes where it's like an adult and a kid, and then the kid says something sassy as shit, and then there's like a pause, and it's like, listen here, you little shit. And it just cracks me up for some reason.
Cussing out children, hilarious.
I think it is, and I have a child.
Yeah, I mean, in certain lights, it's funny. Yeah.
Listen, I know it technically makes me a bad parent, but I think it's hilarious when my daughter uses curse words that I know she picks up from me. And it's like, there's been plenty of times where she's like, damn it. And then she'll stop, kind of like, oh no. But then
you're like, yeah.
She'll be like, kind of like, like, oh, and then I'll be like, I don't care. Yeah. Just don't do it around.
You're gonna say it eventually.
Yeah, just don't do it at school or around your grandma. Yeah, so
like, I don't know. Like, I don't have kids, so like when it comes to, man, we derailed hard.
Yes,
just now.
But we can bring it back to kids with Halloween. Because I mean that's the only reason I do it nowadays. Like,
I mean I feel like that's the only reason. I mean, it's just a time for everyone to have fun. Yeah. Just kind of let loose and just have fun. And I think people make it about this other thing that no one really makes it about. Mm-hmm. It's the same with like Like as a kid, I couldn't play Pokemon.
Oh, I remember that when I played it anyway.
Like
the evolution thing.
Well, not even that. Just like, well, okay, I think that may have been an aspect of it. But I'll show you this YouTube clip later. But there's this preacher who said that
Pikachu means something about God.
Like,
there's that one too.
Yeah, there's something about like they're demons or something like that, and they have these powers that shoot. The way he like made Pokemon sound was awful. He was like, and there's this dragon that shoots flames from his mouth. Who else does that? Satan. I'm like, what the hell?
How do you know? Have you met
The Bible doesn't say that at all.
Something sounds really suspicious, Mr. Preacher. Have you met Satan? I remember hearing that somebody had said that Pikachu meant like something like greater than God or some shit like that. But then I was like, no. Pika is the onomatopoeia, Japanese onomatopoeia of spark, like and then Chu is mouse. Literally spark mouse.
Spark mouse. The most innocent thing.
Exactly.
It's such a cute spark mouse.
But yeah, I remember that one.
Try to find the worst in things, and then just like I don't know what it takes away the fun. I don't get why they do it. Like, why would why would you limit yourself on something like Pokemon or Halloween or those things that are inherently just innocent things?
I don't know. I mean, it's kind of hard to put yourself, at least for me, because like I kind of understand religious points, you know. Because
you can't understand.
I yes and no. But at the same time, you know, who cares? Okay, let me. All right, I step back a little.
Okay, yeah.
I can see if somebody that's ultra hardcore religious be like, oh, there's all these kids dressing up as monsters and witches, and they are making it okay, and it shouldn't be. I can see that point.
Yeah.
But at the same time, from your point of view, it's the intent.
Yeah.
Like, it's just kids dressing up as monsters because they think they're cool.
Yeah.
Going out to get candy.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't know. I mean, I don't know anything about religion or supernatural beings, so if I do dress up as Satan or a monster, and that's like, you know, somewhere a demon's like, yes,
he's one of us now.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I can't answer that.
Welcome, Khalid. Yeah, I don't think it works that way.
Just show up and was like, so is there like benefits to this, or
no? You're just
you
look cool.
Look cool and. Maybe get laid every now and then. Oh, all right, I'm in.
Yeah. Hey, I don't.
When do I get the goat fee?
I think it'd be a really cool like premise for a show for a guy on Halloween to like dress up as like a demon or something, and
he accidentally gets actually taken as a demon by other demons.
Yeah, and they like he's trying to blend in and stuff, and then they maybe find out and they're like, well, I mean, you're already here, so.
He's pretty cool.
He's not a bad guy. I mean, he's a bad guy, but like, he's our kind of bad. Like,
yeah, right. Let's let him in.
We're gonna teach you how to be a demon, dude. But like, I feel like the demons would be super like almost like too human. Like, they have jobs and stuff. Yeah. I think it'd be a funny show. What is it?
The one not what we do in the shadows. The vampires that are like just trying to live a normal life. It's on FX right now.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't watch daytime television, so
it's nighttime. But you know, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I don't. But you know what I mean. Mm. You know, it'd be somebody. I read it on the internet, and I wish someone would do it. But like a really depressed guy who moves into a house that's haunted, but he's so depressed that the ghosts all kind of take pity on him and like are just kind of like helping him with his life. You know.
Yeah.
And that they're all based off of like the 7 sins, but like in a positive way.
Okay.
Like Wrath is just really angry. Like, why did you let him?
Yeah.
No, we're gonna teach you how to stand.
Yeah.
Like Sloth is like, no, let him rest. He needs to rest. There's 7 ghosts trying to cheer this depressed guy
up. Before we go back to the Halloween thing, I have one more. Like, so you know how people like you'll have a conversation about like something like Adidas shoes.
Yeah.
And then your phone will like give you an ad for Adidas shoes and you're like, oh, thanks FBI guy, that kind of thing. I think it'd be a really cute story if there was like a teenage girl and she had this phone and the FBI guy, there's like a whole corporation of these FBI guys that like literally listen in for on one person. They get assigned a person. And this like this big burly FBI guy is like helping this little girl like go through. Like, it's like a coming-of-age story, essentially. Like, maybe she's getting bullied, and she's like, you know what? I'm going to give her an ad for this. Like,
karate class or something.
Yeah, something like that. And it's just like him kind of like helping her out. I think that'd be a really fun story.
There's that little meme comic of like a little kid. It's like, how can we make roads better or something like that? And on the other side's an FBI agent going like, yeah, go Timmy, go.
Yeah, I like that.
I was gonna say something about Halloween and I totally forgot. But all right, whatever. Oh yeah, I feel like nowadays it's evolved to people just getting together and having parties, which I'm okay with. I think that's kind of fun. I mean, I feel like trick or treating is not a thing anymore, but I'd like to like live in a, be in a point in my life where it's like, like, hey, friend, we're having a costume party. My kids are going to be there. Bring your kids. So-and-so's kids are going to be there. Let's just have fun.
Yeah.
I look forward to a point like that in my life. At least I hope that it happens.
Yeah.
You never know.
I haven't seen kids trick-or-treat in...
years.
Years. Like, I think maybe 2 years ago, I was at work. No, maybe it was last year. I can't remember. I was at work. And some kids came in the store for candy. And I was like, okay, wow. And they were the only kids that came in. And I was driving home, didn't see any kids on the way home. I just don't know. I don't know what kids are doing now as opposed to trick-or-treating. Because I know, like, high school kids and above are partying. But, like, people who are, like, 5 to 10, what are they doing now?
I don't know. They have those, like, trunk-or-treat things nowadays. There's a lot of people that are like, oh, the world is getting worse, so we can't go out to people's house to house. That's weird. Because we could,
I mean, yes, I agree with that. Now, you are right on that point, but I don't think the world's getting worse. I think it's just we're seeing it more.
Yes, I like to tell to people that are like, oh, the world is becoming more about. No, it's always been that way. You just get to see it a lot.
Yeah, it's on the
internet.
Like, oh, we can't send our kids door to door because there may be a creep. No, that creep was always there. Just now he's on Channel 5 News.
Yeah, or on that watchdog website.
Yeah. he's a fucking pedophile baseball card now. Like, you gotta,
which it has its goods and bads. On the one side, not to go to that guy's house. The bad side, kids don't get to trick or treat anymore.
Yeah.
So, I was gonna bitch about the Day of the Dead and Halloween for.
Oh yeah, tell me about that. Because I have no idea what the Day of the Dead is.
I'm from northern Mexico, and as far as I remember, Day of the Dead wasn't as big as it is in southern Mexico.
Okay.
But Day of the Dead essentially is.
Do you think it's just based on location, like that it's closer to the U.S., or is it like?
I don't know, because Tijuana is a really big city, and I don't know. For all I know, like. We just weren't in a section of the city that was so into it.
Wait, what was? Sorry.
Like, maybe we weren't in a section of the city that was super into it, and the other half was. Yeah. Because like, my brother's lived there all his life, pretty much. And he still gets lost in certain places of Tijuana.
Wow.
It's that big.
In my head, I just think of... I don't know why. I could be fucking... I am ignorant in this regard. But, like, when I hear Tijuana, I just see, like, a big-ass, like, Las Vegas strip in the middle of the desert. And I know it's not.
It used to be.
It used to be?
Yeah, according to my dad.
I think it's because of what media portrays, like, Tijuana is. Yes. It's like just fucking desert and, like, a guy with a cart with, like, Cokes in it. That's about it.
A taco cart?
Yeah, that's all. There's, like, a guy, like, whittling a piece of wood. He's just, like, eyeing the guy from America or something. That's about it.
No, it's... I can understand. Yeah, you're right, because of media. And it's just this really big fucking city. Just really, like, I don't know how to explain it other than maybe show you a picture.
Yeah, after this, show me pictures, because I've never seen it, actually.
And it's like I said, maybe we lived in a section of the city that just wasn't as big. I know the school I went to used to have, like, little things, like little festival stuff during that time of year. But essentially what the Day of the Dead is just the spirits of your loved ones come to our side, like our, I guess, realm. I really don't know how to call it.
Yeah.
And then you set out, like, their favorite foods and snacks, and it's kind of like, hey, we still remember you.
Yeah.
We still love you. here is your favorite food. Hopefully you can come and spend time with us, or your spirit can, and you can, be happy, be remembered. Which, when you think about it from a Catholic point of view, that's kind of fucked up. But the Day of the Dead is one of those holidays that the Catholic Church took over and was like, yeah, we're gonna make it a Christian thing. And it was totally a native tradition.
Yeah,
because in Mexico, like, death is female and is seen as like a protective spirit, or you die, she will take you.
She kind of like guides you.
Yeah, guides you, kind of comforting, kind of.
Yeah.
Not as like,
not as like a skeleton with a scythe that comes and beheads
to be afraid of.
Yeah.
It's not that. It's, again, like a very motherly, caring figure.
Yeah.
So it's kind of strange to kind of be in America, and then people are like, oh, the Day of the Dead, you like celebrate demons and dead people and ghosts. And
there's a big misconception about it.
Yeah, let's paint our faces like skeletons,
sugar skulls.
And it's like,
they don't know anything about it.
Yeah. Granted, I haven't done it in like forever. So
yeah, I mean, at least about like the origins of it and like what it actually is.
Yeah, it'd be nice to try to get like an actual celebration, which nowadays, when is Hispanic Heritage Month here in the States?
No idea.
I don't know, but I feel like there is a lot more push nowadays to try to show what it's really about. Yeah. A lot of media now is trying to portray it in a correct.
I've noticed that, actually,
in a correct light instead of what it used to be.
Mm-hmm.
Movies in the 90s, like, oh, the Day of the Dead, and it was like a zombie movie or some shit.
The movie, I saw them trying like to really like drive home that this is not what you think it. Well, no, actually, I could get this wrong. The new Bad Boys that came out,
I've not seen it.
It's not as good as the other two. It's fun. I'll give it that. But it has a totally different feel than the other two. But a big focus on the movie was like, I can't remember the name of the deity or whatever, but it's
La Santa Muerte.
What was that?
La Santa Muerte.
That sounds familiar.
That's the
like
big cartel thing nowadays.
Okay, I think you're on it. It was a big focus on that. Like, it's like a female spirit or something. That's
her.
Is that the same as the Day of the Dead thing? Or?
No. La Santa Muerte is something that has come up recently.
Okay, I'm getting it confused.
Kind of like worshiping death herself.
Okay.
Making her a saint, kind of like in a Catholic sense. I don't know if you know about that. And it's a lot of times it's worshipped by the less wanted of society. So like thieves, drug addicts.
It most definitely was like spun that way in the movie. So I think the movie did a good job. I just think I got it mixed up with what you were talking about then.
A lot of cartels actually have like they worship La Santa Muerte because it's like, I really don't know. I mean, there's like, I'm sure there's articles and stuff out there that talk about it more, but it's just it's like I said, it's kind of this. There's a lot of people in places in Mexico where they live a terrible life, or they live with this fear of being murdered every day. But the death isn't exactly the scary part. It's
what leading up to it. Yeah.
Because
that's crazy.
A lot of people have adopted that belief of La Santa Muerte because they picture that when they die,
it's over. Like,
it's
you're
over.
free.
You're free. There's no more worries. She'll come and take you.
That's so weird because like,
it's comforting yet weird because of where it came from.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
But at the same time, like here in the States, it's the total opposite. Apparently, like, well, I guess the biggest religion in the States are Christianity.
Mm-hmm.
And the best part comes after you die. We're just in like this weird. basically everything you do until death
Mm-hmm.
is for the afterlife. That's how Christianity is set up.
I've heard.
So like when I hear you say the whole like the good part comes after, or the good part is before, and then, or I guess it's not really even that. It's just like transitional periods, I guess, right?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people that believe in this is the one thing I find interesting, and I like about religions in that like the certain parts in Mexico, or the more south you go, the more you see more native traditions mix into Catholicism.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like the Santa Muerte and Day of the Dead is one of those things, because again, a lot of people started following this it's almost cultish to some extent, because of when you live in a place like Juarez and you have this fear that any day now, some person's gonna kidnap you, execute, like torture you, and then cut your head off.
Yeah.
Like what do you look forward to? So in a sense, like, yeah, they don't want to die, they fear dying, but they also have this feeling that, well, when I do die, at least she'll be gentle.
She'll be there.
She'll be there.
Pick up those pieces. That kind of thing.
So it's again comforting, but it comes from a really messed up
dark place. Yeah. To answer your question earlier, Hispanic Heritage Month isn't actually just like a certain month. It's a period between September 15th to October 15th. So it just passed, actually.
Yeah. So, yeah, you still see people like around that time of year try to be like, hey, Day of the Dead's coming. It's not Halloween.
So I have some stuff on Day of the Dead pulled up.
Mm-hmm. Sugar skulls don't taste as good as they look.
Oh, you can eat them?
Yeah, they're made out of sugar.
I thought it was just kind of like, I thought it was called sugar skull because like it was like a pretty looking skull.
They're candy.
Oh,
but
they
taste like wax. They don't. At least the one I ate was terrible.
A black man from Cincinnati, Ohio. I know nothing about this.
I mean, I'm not like judging too hard, but it's, the word sugar is in it.
But I mean, I thought it was because of like the pretty. Look, I have pictures pulled up, and these look like pretty sweet, face paintings.
Yeah, they look cool.
Yeah, they look really fucking cool.
They are made of sugar. At least the ones I've had were kind of waxy and didn't really have very much of a taste.
So, did they start off as something? That you people ate, or did it evolve into wearing the face paint?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Because I've read. Because I've been meaning to actually do research on, just out of curiosity about that. Because I was reading in Aztec mythology, the king of the underworld, the god of, like, our version of Hades. Because then there's death, and she was a woman, but I guess it was technically her husband who was the king. Had the face of a skull.
Yeah.
In like fire. And
Ghost Rider.
Yeah, it was like a lot of like fire and smoke and like a skull.
Harley.
So I was wondering if that's where it came from, or if like people started painting their faces as skulls to kind of show respect to death herself. I'd have to look into it.
Does she have a skull face, or is she just
it
like
depends
a woman?
It depends on the iteration. A lot of them are just like a skeleton.
It's kind of like Jesus.
It's kind of like the Virgin Mary, but a skeleton version. It's kind of like Santa Maria.
It's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, I actually think it's cool too.
It's kind of like different iterations of Jesus. Like you have like hippie, long-haired Jesus, and then you have black Jesus,
white Jesus,
and that's like, I guess, hippie, long-haired Jesus. I guess there's only two versions of Jesus.
Well, there's Mormon Jesus.
Jesus.
There's this weird cartoon that was a meme for a while that explained Mormonism, and I feel kind of bad because I feel like I'm trashing Mormonism, but at the same time I feel like Mormons should be trashed on.
Oh my god, I don't know enough about it.
They've done some shady shit. So
I mean, a lot of religions have.
Yes, so
Mormon Jesus, he just looks like Jesus. Well, he looks more he looks like a rugged Jesus.
Yeah.
He's kind of like.
Put Mormon Jesus cartoon and see if it'll come up.
Mormon Jesus cartoon.
And we can watch.
I know you guys can't see what I'm looking at, but you can Google it.
Yeah, it's a huge meme. Right? Somebody made a song out of it. Okay,
I like this actually. He looks like he looks like he would walk up with like a longboard and a hacky sack, and like, hey, want to play? Like, he has his hacky sack with him. Someone right here is like comparing him to handsome Squidward. He's a very handsome individual, I will say.
Yeah, it's. I think you should watch the cartoon.
Is it a show called Mormon Jesus?
I don't know. It was a meme, right? I found it on some website. It was a Flash cartoon. I saw the original, and then I saw somebody make like a remix song off of it. So,
well, I
Mormon
appreciate
Jesus.
you giving me a look into what Day of the Dead actually is, and what
I think a lot of people should try it.
I would love to do that thing you said before, and like actually have like a celebration of it, and just get together and just kind of experience it. Something I don't want it to just be a party. I want to know what I'm doing.
I do remember waking up when I was a little boy. Waking up early and going to a cemetery to my grandma's, like with my grandma. I think it was her mom, and visiting her grave and setting out I don't remember what the flowers are called. The flowers and some food. I remember that, but obviously we haven't really done anything like the Day of the Dead since we moved to America, because I feel like people would look at you weird if you did.
Yeah.
A lot of people, if they do celebrate, they do it at home nowadays. Yeah, but back then it was like you'd go out to the graveyard, bring flowers, bring food, stuff like that. Pretty much have a picnic with the spirit of your loved ones is kind of what it was in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's what I remember. That's what I did with my grandma, mi abuela. But yeah, I think it'd be fun. I wish people would try it more. I feel like
I think they just need someone to be that gateway to like let them know like, hey, this thing exists and it's actually pretty fun to do, or it's actually pretty interesting to learn about, and then have someone like you kind of show them the ropes.
I feel like people cultural appropriation or whatever, but I think this would be a thing that I would personally like Americans or like American friends to experience, because I think our view of death seems a lot more comfortable than American culture.
Oh yeah,
because I feel like there's this big thing of like fear behind it, and yeah, Mexicans don't want to die, but it's also not as scary.
Yeah,
at least from what I've seen and from what I've experienced. I'm sure everybody's experiences are different, but culturally, it's not as it just doesn't seem as scary, really.
Yeah.
I know it sounds weird to listeners, and obviously, if somebody is from Mexico and their experience is different, then let me know. I'd like to know. This is from my side, my family, what I've seen, and everybody's like I said, like traditions are very different. Like in southern Mexico, they have like parades and stuff. They carry images of death herself.
Oh wow!
I've seen some towns that do that. They do the face paint thing, food, pan de los muertos, I believe it's called. Pan de muertos? I don't remember now that I think about it. But it's good. I have tried that.
Well,
there's actually a lot of different traditions and stuff during Christmas, which I think we should talk about when Christmas comes around.
Okay, yeah, we can. Yeah, most definitely do that, because I have a few things actually to add from the Black experience to that.
Okay, well, before we wrap it up, is there a Black experience for Halloween? In that case,
no.
Okay.
Well, I don't want to speak for all Black people, but in my experience, no. Like, again, I wasn't allowed to celebrate it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I guess that shows you right there. When I was with my mom in my younger years, I wasn't allowed to celebrate it. But then as soon as I got to live with my dad, they were all for it.
Yeah.
So it was never a religious thing on one side, but it was on the other side. So when it comes to like, I guess the Black experience, it just depends on what religion you are.
Okay. When you say religion, do you mean like, and we're talking about America here.
Yeah.
Do you mean like sect of Christianity? Because
I think it depends on the sect.
As a non-religious man, I have no idea what the difference is. I hear, what is the starts with a B? Baptist and
Pentecostal
and Baptist. Some other addition, Baptist plus
like,
plus.
I'm pretty sure there's like over 700 different sects of Christianity.
Okay, yeah, I have no idea what the differences are.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you either. I know there's some that have. I don't mean to like dumb it down to this, but some have a dress code. Some you can't eat certain foods. Some, like, the Bible's totally figurative. Some take it very literally. Some, it really just depends on how, like, where you grew up, who your parents are. Like, it just depends on that
section of the country that you're from,
section of the world you're in. Like,
I guess.
I mean, it's like there's a lot of Korean Christians. Like, it's weird. Like, I didn't think that was a thing, but sure enough,
well, it is now. I mean, after the wars,
yeah,
a lot of culture stuck over there.
Mm-hmm. But
I was just curious because, you know, you always hear about, like, oh, let's go to that black church, and it's like supposed to be an experience.
Say, yeah, black churches, we got fire music. Like,
I've never been to church actually, so I wouldn't know.
I guess before we go, like, the answer is no. I don't think my race really applied or really changed how Halloween affected me. It was more of the religion that did.
Okay. Well, it's same for me, I guess.
I would say that my race did affect how people treated me on Halloween.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a whole different conversation.
Yeah, it's a whole different conversation. Like, there was one time I went as a vampire. And I was in high school.
I can kind of see where this is going.
Yeah, and I was at a high school dance just as the vampire, and they didn't know who the fuck I was. They saw my teeth in the cape, and I was like, "Yo, I'm a vampire." They're like, "But you're not pale." I'm like, "Well, bitch, I'm black. What do you? What
am I supposed to do?"
Yeah, I'm sorry. Do you want me to go in whiteface next year to make you feel better about it? I'm sorry. And then after that, they call me Blackula. And
that was a movie.
Yeah, it was a good ass movie too.
Have you? Okay, I've only heard people make fun of it.
Well, I mean, you can most definitely. It's cool because, okay, we're gonna end it after this. But
okay,
it's cool because if you guys don't know, there's this movie called Black Noir, and it's essentially about how black people have affected the horror genre, which is it's a really cool movie.
Black Noir.
If you want to watch it, it's on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's where I watched it, but it's a really good movie, and they show you like how black actors were treated in certain mediums, and like the characters they were mostly given in horror movies, and their take on horror now, and it's really cool. But one of the movies they talked about was Blackula, and people think of it as this big joke movie because Black Dracula, black. It sounds like a parody. And in a way, it kind of is, but the way they twist the guy that goes by Blackula, he's not a joke character. He's really cool because it was made at a time where black people didn't really have, you know, authority or like power and stuff, but he was a part of this court, and he was like royalty. So like when black people watched it, they were like, "Oh wow, this is really different because this man's like a king." He's over here talking to all these white vampires and like having a voice, and they're listening, well, kind of listening to him. He had a big stance where I think there was a scene where he was in Transylvania, and he was talking to one of the other vampire leaders trying to get rid of slavery, and the other vampire was kind of like, "No, it benefits both of our parties," that kind of thing. And he was like, "Well, no, even it affects all people." It was just kind of cool. It was a really cool take on a black vampire story.
Sure.
And I feel like they should do more stuff like that and add more. They are with, like, you know, Jordan Peele, like Get Out and Us and all those movies. And I think we're going to get another Blackula, not another one, but, you know, something along those lines.
Yeah.
But long story short, I'm excited to see what we do with something like that.
Okay. That would be interesting.
I think it really would. And I think people, if you haven't seen Blackula, then definitely give it a watch. It's not a movie that ages very well, but it's a movie that you can appreciate.
Well, I mean, we talked about in the Incognito Quickie about creepypasta, how just horror media is changing so much, and how I personally look forward to, not the movies, just everything else.
Everything, yeah.
The movies are like, but everything else coming out of
like
it,
the movies are getting. I think they're running out of ideas or running out of ways to scare people. But, you know, video games and stories, they're getting up there.
Yeah.
But we can talk about that a little bit more about that on the next little.
Okay. Do you have any last thoughts about Halloween and this time of year?
No, I think I tapped everything I wanted to get out. I guess to reiterate, watch Black Noir. It's a really good movie. If you don't have to take this advice because it's just what I think. If you are debating whether or not you want to let your children, if you have children, or if you are debating whether or not you want to celebrate Halloween, think about the intent behind it. If it's just to have a good time and, let loose and stuff, I think you should do it. If you're held back by religious ideology or anything like that, just think about the reason why you are doing it.
Mm-hmm.
That's my bit of advice.
You can go to a Halloween party and not have to wear a costume.
Yeah, you don't have to wear a costume. Just go and hang out with some friends.
Have fun.
It's the same thing you would do on any other day. This night isn't inherently evil. It's just it's the same night as every other night before. It's just a little bit cold.
Yeah, just a little bit cooler.
Just a little bit cold. You're missing some slutty cats in the streets. That's about it. Anything you have?
Slutty witches.
Slutty Homer Simpsons. Everything. There's a lot of slutty versions of everything.
Sexy. I just want to say, I guess back to the dead thing. Like I just wish people maybe took some time and I think it would benefit a lot of people to celebrate it once or twice.
Yeah.
Because like I was saying before, I feel like our culture's view of death would like benefit a lot of people, especially that have like anxiety about that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
And make them feel a lot more better. That not have to fear it every single day.
Mm-hmm. I mean, death is the reason why a lot of people are religious.
Yeah.
And it's the reason why they seek out some religions that just
that are a little iffy.
Cause a lot of harm. But anything else?
No, I had a good time.
Yeah, same here. All right, guys. Thank you for listening to this episode of Incognito Room. This was Incognito Room Tricks and Treats, and we hope to see you we hope to have you on the next one.
Yeah,
can't really see
come back, please.
Yeah.
We need it.
Again, have a good one. Be safe. Social distance, guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.